When did someone threaten your life because they thought you were faking your disability? I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 12. It's not the kind of thing you ever get used to, but I've learned how to live with it. But for a while, I was really secretive about it because I didn't want anyone to know I was different. I only told people if I had to, like when I got my first job at a pretzel shop at the mall. My mom had nagged me for days about how I had to tell my manager I was diabetic in case there was an emergency and to make sure I got accommodations I needed. So I told her I might need an extra break once in a while to check my blood sugar or eat something quickly if I felt off. I sped through the whole explanation as quickly as I could because I could already feel my cheeks turning red and I just wanted this conversation to be over. But my boss stared at me with this look like I just told her I expected to be paid for doing nothing. She said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were one of those TikTok girls." I said, "Excuse me?" And she said, "Seems like everyone's got a little condition these days." I had no idea what to say, so I didn't say anything. But work was awkward every day after that. Anytime I pulled out a granola bar from my bag, I could feel her eyes on me. If I stepped into the back to check my monitor, she'd follow 5 minutes later and say something like, "Everything okay, Your Highness?" Then she'd tell me the schedule was tight and maybe I could be less needy. I started skipping blood sugar checks and even missed an insulin shot one time because I didn't want to be seen as weak. Then one day I came in for my shift already feeling shaky. My blood sugar levels had been iffy all day and I'd been trying to stabilize them. I asked if I could take my 15-minute break a little early so I could adjust my insulin and my boss immediately sighed. She said, "You know what? No need. I brought you something sugar-free to help get your energy up." She held out a coffee cup. I asked her what was in it and she said, "No sugar." I made sure, she said, smiling like this was a favor. "Just drink it." I hesitated. Something felt off, but I didn't want another lecture. I was already lightheaded and tired and sick of being treated like a liar, even though what I actually needed was medicine, not coffee. As long as it was sugar-free, it wasn't going to hurt me. So I took a few sips. It tasted really sweet, but artificial sweetener will do that, so I didn't think much of it. Until half an hour later when something was very obviously wrong. My vision was going blurry and my heart was racing so fast I could hear it pounding in my ears. I tried to count the steps to the back room to keep me conscious, but the numbers kept slipping out of my head. I dropped my bag on the floor, ripped it open, and barely got to prick my finger to see my blood sugar before everything spun sideways. But I saw that the display said high, meaning my blood sugar was so high that my monitor couldn't even calculate it anymore. The next thing I remember, I was on the floor and I could hear people yelling, and my boss's voice was above it all going, "She's just faking. She found out I put sugar in her drink so she's putting on a show." I managed to communicate to my coworker that I needed my insulin and gave myself a shot by the time the paramedics got there. They asked me what happened, and I told them about the drink that was supposedly sugar-free. They stared at my boss and she sputtered out, "I just wanted to show everyone that she was faking, and if she drank sugar without knowing it, then nothing would happen." The paramedic practically yelled, "Does this look like nothing to you? Her levels are over 400. You could have ended her life." She just scoffed and muttered something about how I'd been causing drama since I got here. Like the inconvenience of a few extra breaks justified her